Hey guys, welcome to your very first lesson in math of your 8th grade career. We are going to start with Unit 1, and Unit 1 is on the number system. We're going to start off basic, which is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers. Now I'm going to tell you something. I'm expecting you to do this without a calculator. Okay, so we're going to start off without a calculator. Now, I know I'm not at home. At your home, I'm at my home, at your home, and I can't tell whether you're using one or not. But keep in mind, there may be a quiz that you have to solve without a calculator at school. So we're going to focus on no calculators right now. This is all review from last year, okay? And after watching that video first, you should be familiar, and it should have sparked a light in your memory that you remember how to do these problems. So let's get started. We're going to just do adding and subtracting. No, just adding today. Here we go. Adding integers. So what's an integer? Well, I'm going to tell you as I move myself down here. An integer is like looking at a number line. So thinking here, it starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, and the other direction. So now let's talk about a term that you need to know here, and that's opposites. So it's 0, it's the whole numbers, and they're opposites. So looking at these numbers, what's missing? Well, fractions and decimals. No fractions, no decimals. Integers are just our basic numbers, okay? So we're going to be just adding integers right now. So we're going to model this, and I don't expect you to draw pluses and minuses every time. This is just to show you how they came up with the rules, okay? But just to model it, if you have 3 plus 5, you have 3 positives and you have 5 positives. Well, all together, you are going to have your 8 positives. So nothing cancels out, and we're left with just 8, which, I mean, you know that that's equal to 8. So let's look at 2, though, and this was covered in the video. If we have all negatives, I don't know why I have 3 negatives. Let's get rid of that one. So if I have 2 negatives and 6 negatives, nothing cancels out. It's just 8 negatives and doesn't make a positive. So don't think 2 negatives make a positive. That's not true when adding. So I want you to think about all negative signs and all negative signs. When we add them all together, we're left with one big negative number, okay? So it's negative. So that's all we're going to do here is fill in this rule. So adding integers with the same sign. So maybe what you want to do is get out your notebook, please, and copy this down. So if you want to pause the video, copy this down. The cats are coming in the door. So when you have the same sign, all we're going to do is you add the numbers. I can hear them fighting. Oh wait, I don't know why it's not moving. Add the numbers. I added them together. 5 plus 3, 8. 2 plus 6, 8. But you have to keep the sign. So if they're all positive, your answer is positive. If they're all negative, their answer is negative. Okay? So looking at these examples. So it doesn't matter if you have 2 negatives or if you have all negatives. You just add and keep. So for this one, we're going to add 9 plus 6 is 15. And make it negative. There you go, negative 15. Same thing here. If they're all negatives, just add them together. We know that 2 plus 3 plus 5 is 10. And because they're all negatives, your answer is negative. Okay? Moving on to different signs. So here we're going to model it. So let's look here. We have 5 negatives and 7 positives. In the video, talked about opposites. And yes, opposites cancel out. So if I have 1 plus negative 1, nothing. 2 plus negative 2, nothing. When you add a number and its opposite, it completely cancels out. It's like taking 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, you land in the same spot. So when we're adding numbers with different signs, that means we can make pairs. So look, I have those pairs cancel out, these cancel out, these cancel out, these cancel out, these cancel out. And what am I left with? I'm left with 2 and 2 positive, so your answer is 2. An easy way to think of it, if you just look at, don't worry about the signs. 5 is smaller than 7, so that means 5 pairs are going to cancel out. The smallest number here, the smallest, not worrying about the signs, like the absolute value of the smallest number is always going to tell you how many pairs cross off. And you're left with the difference. And what's 7 minus 5? 2. So your answer is positive 2 because the higher number is positive. Looking here. Here we have 4 positives and 9 negatives. So 4 is smaller than 9, so we know 4. You can make that sound if you want. 4 positive and 4 negatives are going to cancel out, and we are left with 5 negatives because here there were more positives, so positives are going to be left over. Here there were more negatives, so negatives are going to be left over. That's it. So our rule here is with adding numbers with different signs. So go ahead and pause this video and copy this down. Different signs. Let me get on here. So what we didn't add, did we? Let's go back up here. We didn't add. 5 plus 7 is not 2. 4 plus 9 is not 5. We didn't add anymore because we're taking away pairs. We have to subtract. So we subtract and give the answer the same sign. So how do we figure out this one's positive, this one's negative? Well, what's larger here? 7. 7's positive, the answer's positive. Which is larger here? 9. 9 is negative, the answer's negative. So it's the same sign as the larger number. That's it. So I'm going to try some examples, and then you'll have to solve some examples. Not quite sure why this is here, so we'll do number 2 first. So number 2, you look, they have different signs. Now, I'm not going to draw 52 positives and 60 negatives, but I'm going to know that 52 pairs cancel out because that's the smaller number. So to figure out what's left over, you take 60 minus 52, and that is 8. Now, is it 8 positives or 8 negatives? So since that's the larger number, there are going to be more negatives, so negatives are going to be left over. Let's go back to number 1. Same thing. You're going to, different signs, 17 smaller, so 17 pairs are going to cancel out. So that's going to leave 20 minus 17, 3 left over, higher number's positive, answer's positive. All right, so go ahead and solve some problems. Multiple choice should come up now. I don't know if I timed that right or not. All right, let's move on. 3 or more. How do I get rid of this? Here we go. This is just a suggestion. You don't have to do this. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example. So let's just chill for a second and look at this. So you have these problems, okay? You can solve in any order. I like to combine the same ones first. So watch, if I do these two, same sign, 3 negatives, 6 negatives is 9 negatives. Bring that down, different sign, subtract, 4, higher number is negative. So my answer is negative 4. Notice I'm showing work. I'm expecting work from you guys. Now watch the magic here, guys. What if I decide to do these two first? Well, here I get different sign, subtract, higher numbers positive. Different sign, subtract, higher numbers negative. I get the same answer. It doesn't matter. This is actually called the commutative property. It doesn't matter which one. Let's look at the next one. What if I did these two first? So I get negative 3, different sign, subtract, and higher numbers negative. Same sign, add and keep. Negative 4. You get the same answer. It doesn't matter which order. All right, so we only have to do one. Let's do this one. So here, I just want to show you a shortcut. Do you see how I have a negative 2 and a positive 2? Remember what I said? Their opposites may cancel out. Ta-da! 9. You can look for opposites and cancel them out. And then the last one. So here I'm going to do I'm going to add my negatives together, add and keep. Add my positives together, 6, 7. Okay, different sign, subtract. -1, done. All done. All right, so I would like you to go on to the next slide and draw out the two problems I'm giving you, showing your steps. I want to see which two you added together first, like I did here. Okay, you're going to show this step and then this. Same thing. Combine, the two positives, the two negatives, add them together. All right, good luck.